You know, some of the biggest stories are hidden in the most famous places. We're going to start with the song that, well, it defined a whole era. But tucked away inside one single line is a story you almost certainly don't know. One that connects hip-hop royalty, street legends, and a powerful movement that's changing America.
Right? You know the line. It's from Ice Cube's 1992 masterpiece, It Was a Good Day. It's just so smooth, so nostalgic, and for most of us, that's kind of where the thought stops. Just a cool name drop in an absolutely iconic song.
But what if I told you that Short Dog wasn't just some random friend? What if he was a figure so important, so pivotal, that his story could literally unite entire neighborhoods? That one little line held a secret history of Los Angeles.
So this is where we start to dig in, go beyond the lyrics. For decades, that name was just a piece of music history, just kind of floating in one of hip-hop's most famous songs. It's time to find out who he really was. Because as it turns out, this wasn't just a name, it was a key. A key to understanding this incredibly complex man whose journey from the streets to a respected community leader left a huge mark on everyone, from legendary rappers to rival gangs. So, okay, let's finally meet the man behind the moniker. And to really do that, we have to talk about a film that brought his unbelievable story to light.
And here it is. This is the award-winning documentary, Coming Up Short. This is the film that finally answers our question. This poster right here, it marks the exact moment a musical mystery became a documented legacy.
So who was Jerome Shorty Muhammad? Well, the answer is complicated. He was a feared LA gang leader, for sure. But he also became the personal protector for Ice Cube right after that explosive split from NWA. Then he evolved into this highly respected figure in the Nation of Islam. And get this, became a community pillar so beloved that his funeral was attended by people from over 80 different and often rival neighborhoods. I mean, what a life.
And you don't have to take my word for it. Just listen to what Ice Cube himself said at Shorty's funeral. He said he wasn't just a protector, he was our conscious. He was the one telling them how they should be living, what they needed to stay away from. That is a powerful, powerful testament.
And the power of his story, it didn't end with his life. Not at all. When this documentary was screened in Los Angeles, something truly incredible happened. Rival street organizations, we're talking Crips, Bloods, and others, all came to the same theater, packed it out, and celebrated his legacy together, in peace. People said it felt like a mini million-man march.
So a story this powerful, this deep, this personal, it raises a really important question. Who could even tell it? Because the story behind the story is just as important here.
First off, you gotta understand this film made huge waves. At the 2021 Hip Hop Film Festival, it went up against 250 other films from all over the world, and it won the top prize, Best of the Fest. So this wasn't just some small project. This was a critically acclaimed, major piece of work. Which brings us back to the question, who are the storytellers with the vision, the credibility, and the skill to bring a story of this magnitude to the screen?
The directors were the acclaimed duo Queen Muhammad Ali and Hakeem Khaaliq, and their film, this incredible piece of American cultural history, was sponsored by an organization that is absolutely central to our story today, the Islamic Scholarship Fund.
And right there, that's where this whole story just blows wide open. Because making Coming Up Short wasn't just a one-off thing. It was actually part of a much, much larger mission. So, this organization, the Islamic Scholarship Fund, or ISF, they have a really clear goal. Get more American Muslims into the rooms where decisions are made. We're talking film, media, law, and government. The idea is pretty simple, right? If you want to improve public policy and public opinion, you need to have a seat at the table. And they come at this from all different angles. Yeah, they empower filmmakers like Queen and Hakeem to tell authentic stories from inside their own communities, but they also create pathways into policy and law, working to reshape public opinion and build up new leaders. The film Coming Up Short, it's a perfect example of that first goal in action.
Now, here's what's so cool about their approach. ISF doesn't just, write a check and walk away. Not at all. They've built a complete system, a whole pipeline, to support people through their entire careers. They call it the cycle of support. See, it starts with scholarships for students in these key fields. Then it moves to film grants for the storytellers. From there, they actually place people in really powerful internships on Capitol Hill and with judges. Then they offer fellowships to help build actual careers in policy. And it all wraps up with a huge alumni network for mentoring and growth. It's a complete ecosystem for creating lasting change.
So what does this actually look like in the real world? Well, let's talk numbers. The impact is definitely real.
Since 2009, ISF has awarded over $1.9 million to make this mission happen.
And that funding? It has directly supported over 500 students, filmmakers, and future leaders all across the country.
And if you want to see the impact beyond film, just look at a guy like Daniel 𝐶𝐨𝐫𝐿. He's an ISF scholarship recipient who went on to become the first ever Muslim president of the Stanford Law Review. He sees his own success as a sign of progress, and he points directly to ISF as being so important in helping him get there.
So just stop and think about the path we just traced together. It all started with a single, throwaway line in a classic rap song. That line led us to the story of a man whose life was so powerful it could unite a community. And that story was only told because of a national movement dedicated to empowering brand new voices.
It all just leaves you with one final, huge thought. The story of Jerome Shorty Muhammad proves that one single, authentic story can actually heal old wounds and bring people together. And it just makes you wonder, if one story can do all that, what could 1,000 more do?